So Metacritic is deleting user reviews. They've been doing it over the weekend, and they continue to do so. Not only that, but of course, game journalists are coming out and continuing to attack fans and say that gamers are toxic, as well as Neil Druckmann coming out to defend The Last of Us Part 2 and is going absolutely crazy. Oh man, there's a lot that's going on here. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, looking at the score for The Last of Us Part 2, as of right now, it is a 95 Metascore with a user score of 4.3. Now, as you can tell, since the last time we talked about it, it was at a 3.5. Now it has gone up to 4.3. So, it's been going up. But it has not been naturally just going up because there have been some user reviews that have been deleted by Metacritic. Now, this is not the first time that they've ever deleted reviews before. We're going to get into that. But considering that they're deleting them, people have been calling them out on Twitter. And if you look at this also, because here's another thing. So let's take a look at that user review first. So looking at it, it still has 42,620 negative reviews. Well, it has 2,662 mixed, and then 26,698 positive. Now, big thing here is that, of course, you're going to get your low reviews of 3s, 2s, and 1s, and you're going to get some mixed reviews of 5s and 6s, and, you know, that's the thing. People are very upset about this game. Understandably so, because this game completely ruined The Last of Us Part 2, but at the same time, what you got to also look at is that the user scores are very important, because the user review scores, they tell you a story that you're never going to see from game journalists, because game journalists, they do the same thing over and over and over again, which that is, they're going to shill out for it, give it 100 reviews, 10 out of 10 masterpiece, by IGN. They're not going to give you the real review. They're going to be doing whatever it takes to bend the knee for their corporate overlord. That's exactly what they're doing here. And you'll see a lot of similar reviews here where they're like, oh man, this game is groundbreaking. It is a masterpiece. Or they're going to say that, oh, it is the game of this generation. You see a lot of that within these reviews. Similar takes, a lot of copy-paste takes. This is why people don't trust game journalists, and for very good reason, because they sit over here and they shill out for these companies. That's why the user review scores are so important, because they tell the true story. And while there have been 3s, 2s, 1s, and even 0s, but here's the thing, in some of those user reviews, they have given some positive things like how the gameplay is good and how the graphics are good, as well as the voice acting. So there have been some positives to the user reviews, even if they've been like 3s, 2s, 1s, and 0s. So, there have been some things that they've said were positives, but they don't like the story. They hate what happened to Joel, understandably so. They hate Abby's character and having to play as her. They hate what they've done with the characters acting completely out of character, which makes sense. They don't like the story. The story is really bad. It is. I've watched gameplay. I've watched it. I've watched the ending. It is so bad. It's horrible. So people took to Twitter, and they were also stating things like this: when Metacritic won't let you write a bad review about The Last of Us Part 2, and you are forced to take screenshots of what you want to say about the game. So they're deleting people's reviews, and they're trying to shut some people out, and to take screenshots. To take screenshots just to be able to put in reviews. That's insane. Absolutely crazy. So then another person came in here and said, so I thought it was interesting. So here's a thread detailing the evolving Metacritic score for The Last of Us Part 2 over the course of the last 2 weeks using information from the Wayback Machine. First entry came June 12th, 95 Metascore based off 64 critic reviews. So, you see that, and then when you look at the screenshot here, here's the 95. So it seems as if it's been locked into place here, and things really haven't changed since then. They've kept it the same. And, here's another funny thing, is that with them now deleting the user reviews, you can definitely tell they're trying to defend this game. It seems like a Captain Marvel situation all over again, or The Rise of Skywalker, where they kept that at an 86, despite getting negative reviews on it. They kept it locked in place. So another person came in here and said, bruh, The Last of Us 2 is getting nuked on Metacritic, so they started to remove reviews from over 5,000 to 3,000, and it only made the score go lower. Oh, that's pretty funny. And that's what they're doing, though. As you can see, they're starting to remove the reviews. So that's the evidence right there that it's going down because they are removing them. And, that goes to show they're trying to protect this game, and it's absolutely ridiculous. But of course, they're going to do that. This is to no surprise. We've seen it before with Rotten Tomatoes, seen it with Metacritic. This isn't a surprise. People were also coming out stating this. I did my part. This person shows they put a 1 there for the review. And so this was their review. The game's utter garbage, BS story, unlikable characters, change of character traits. Well then, of course, they responded not long after that, stating Metacritic just deleted my honest review. Pathetic. Now, if you look closely at what it states here, it says you may no longer submit a review due to the content of your previous comments or reviews. So it goes to show you that Metacritic is pulling a Rotten Tomatoes here. They're trying to save this game, keep the Metascore high, and trying to make The Last of Us Part 2 look better than it actually is. And so in the past, Metacritic has deleted user reviews. So this is not the first time. Metacritic deleted more than 6,000 negative ratings for Death Stranding. So they deleted over 6,000 negative ratings for Death Stranding at that time. Goes to show you that they will do that they will delete the negative reviews. So this is what this article states. Metacritic, the video game review and rating aggregator website, recently deleted about 6,000 negative user reviews for Death Stranding, bumping up the score for the latest Hideo Kojima game. Between December 4th and 5th, Arganged found that negative user ratings for Death Stranding on Metacritic had decreased from 9,335 to only 2,906. In comparison, positive user ratings over that same period increased from 8,368 to 8,446. The deleted negative user ratings significantly increased the game score from 5.1 to 7.4. So it goes to show you that Metacritic, they're willing to try to save games by removing negative reviews. And that's the thing, is that isn't really a good thing to show, because if they're going to delete these reviews of what people are stating, well, I think that's a problem. One thing that Rotten Tomatoes did after Captain Marvel, when you look at that situation, they made it so that people had to be verified to do it. They had to have the receipt to be able to put in reviews. Rotten Tomatoes changed up their whole entire script, whenever there was negative reviews that were coming in early for Captain Marvel. That was something they changed so that people would have to have receipts to show that they actually did see the movie so they could leave reviews. But of course, that didn't stop them from deleting reviews that were negative, that they didn't like. So here we go with Metacritic doing the exact same thing. Now, continuing on with the article, Metacritic takes issues of potential score manipulation seriously and has a number of policies in place to maintain score integrity. Are you sure about that? You're deleting all this stuff. Are you sure about that? The spokesperson told IGN, adding that moderators regularly go through the user ratings and reviews as well as those flagged by other Metacritic users and removes those that violate the website's terms of service. So the scores that are like copy-paste, though, it's kind of funny that they'll delete the negative ones, right? But they won't delete the positive ones. The ones that are copy-paste to one another, sound very identical, that are pure 100 scores. Kind of funny they don't go after those. But yet when it comes to negative ones, ones that critique the game, actually give real opinions, not these shill opinions by the game journalists. Go after those. Get rid of those, right? No wrong think allowed here. That's what they do. They go after those. But whenever you have like pure 100 scores that look like they're spam, that say identical stuff all the time, oh no, keep those. They look great. They make the game look great. They keep those. They keep those. They don't get rid of those. Kind of funny how that works. But what people need to understand is the user reviews are very important. The important ones are from the actual gamers because they actually give the real opinions. You're not going to see that from game journalists. They don't give the real opinions. It's just about what's their narrative and, how they like what's their narrative. But speaking of defense, CNET came in here and stated why The Last of Us Part 2 is getting internet hate. Attacking gamers again. Which, who's surprised? Game journalists, this is what they always do. They always come after the gamers because it's the toxic gamers' fault. And they wonder why they don't click with gamers. This is why you're out of touch gaming media, because you're not real gamers. You don't care. You just care about your narrative being thrown into games. You don't really care about games. That's why you don't click with gamers. Less than 2 weeks before The Last of Us Part 2's June 19th release date, its director Neil Druckmann said he expected the game to divide gamers. He's prepared for some fans to hate it. I came across this prediction while preparing to write CNET's review for part 2. I remember being stuck by its pessimism. See, here's something I've never understood about these Puritans. They always seem to like to make entertainment that apparently fans will hate. I've never really understood that. Why don't you just want to make entertainment that people would like to enjoy? I've never really got that about them. For some reason, they do this stuff. It's bizarre. Sure, between a gay female protagonist and an ethnically diverse set of characters, The Last of Us Part 2 had the hallmarks of a game that would provoke one of the internet's most sensitive, violent segments. Nobody had a problem with a character being gay. Nobody had a problem with Ellie being into girls. Nobody has that problem. I have not heard one single person online talk about that. And if there was somebody that was talking about it, it's not a channel I've heard of. I don't know of anybody who's had an issue with it. I honestly don't. See, this is another one of those arguments they try to throw at gamers, saying that gamers are phobic. This is what they always do. But the thing of it is, there's nobody talking about that. There's nobody saying these things. Ellie being gay was never a problem. And it's not a problem. Nobody has a problem with that. I mean, seriously. They just bring up whatever argument in the book they can to try to attack gamers. That's exactly what they're doing here. You play as Joel throughout the first game, and within hours, he's gone. Ellie is the hero now. This, according to a vocal minority of apocalyptic fans, is the issue. That's not the issue. The issue is the fact of how Joel was treated. It was how terribly disrespected his character was, and how a pro golfer comes in who has a mad golf swing and disrespects his character. That's the problem people had. It's not just that the protagonist is a woman, it's that she's gay, although there is a lot of objection to that. It's not just that Joel dies, it's that Naughty Dog promoted a sequel that starred Joel, but he's almost immediately replaced. Making matters worse, you play as the second half as Abby, Joel's ender. Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody likes Abby. She's a terrible character. It's not because she's a woman. Nobody has a problem with playing as a woman. People knew they were going to play as Ellie, and people were excited about that because people like Ellie. Ellie's a good character, or at least, she was in the first game. I mean, nobody had a problem playing as a female character. That's just stupid. That's a stupid argument. This is all unacceptable in the minds, tweets, and Metacritic reviews of some angry gamers. Some accuse Naughty Dog of sacrificing Joel for no reason, in which they did. Others suggest it was so that the studio could promote social justice values. It's not just about the social justice crap, okay? It's more than that. The story is terrible. They destroyed the characters. They ruined Ellie, Joel, and Abby was just terrible from the start. It's more than just social justice values. It's the fact that they ruined a beloved franchise. They made characters act out of character. They made this horrible story that people do not enjoy. Plot holes all over the place. That's the problem with the game. The Last of Us 2 is a revenge story. Revenge doesn't just progress the plot. This is a video game about revenge itself. After Abby ends Joel, her motive becomes the immediate question. She doesn't seem like a bad person. Oh, she's a terrible person. What are you talking about? She's horrible. Typically, if a game makes you play as someone, it means they're a hero of sorts. Is Abby a hero? Was Joel's death justified? Yes. We learned. Yes, it was. Anybody can sympathize with Joel. Joel was that guy who didn't really trust people and would give a fake alias to protect his identity. But, when you look at The Last of Us, the thing was that the plant zombies, the only way to have the cure was Ellie, and she would have had to die during the surgery, and he saw her as his daughter, and I think people could sympathize with that. And so, in turn, what did they do? They had Joel save her because he looked at her as if Ellie was his own daughter. And I think anybody can understand Joel's perspective on this. Anyone that has a kid at least. And, I wouldn't doubt it within the next few weeks they're going to try to paint Joel as if he's the villain. They're going to keep trying to make him look like the bad guy, I bet you. I bet you that's what's going to happen within the next few weeks. The journalists are going to do that as defense of the game. Guarantee you that's going to happen next. But then, of course, Neil Druckmann himself, I think he's losing it because he came out and stated this. Maybe the same source as you fight phobic Christians, or that Anita worked on the game, or that Abby is trans, or that I was scanned and mocapped anything in the game, or that we paid for reviews, or I'm exhausted. Nobody said that Anita worked on the game, Neil. But people did know that you were inspired by Anita there, Neil. You even said it yourself when you were giving a speech about it. So we know for a fact, Neil, that Anita Sarkeesian was someone that you took inspiration from. We do know that. So there's that. But also, you had a self-insert in the game. Now, whether you mocap that scene or not, which you may not have, I don't know. But whether you did or not, we know you had a self-insert in that game. So there's that. That spicy scene with Abby. We know all about that. And when it comes to reviews, we know how it works. Game journalists get these games for free. I mean, and then they review them. So, Neil, we know that companies do this, and we know that they shill for these games then once that happens. We already know that much. So, when it comes to your argument, Neil, you're not doing a very good job here. And at this point, I only expect Neil to probably get crazier as time goes on as well. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.